Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my project pan update for the month of August. I can't believe it's August already. It just feels like the first 7 months of the year flew by. So yeah, August will be busy for me. So if you see me in the same outfit, I am pre-filming some things. So for those of you who are new, but probably not at this point, and don't know what a project pan is, it's a project where you try to use up your makeup through either usage goals or goals like hitting pan or using up an item completely. I usually go for hitting pan on an item or using it up completely because I like seeing pan and I like seeing finished products. So this is a makeup only project pan. I do have another like beauty style project pan for things like sheet masks and nail polishes and perfumes, but this is just makeup. So I'm going to get started with the items that I'm actually rolling out because I finished them. I always start with this because it's the most exciting. Starting with the first product, I have my lip gloss from Rom&nd. It is in the shade Deepen More. It is opaque, you can't really see through the packaging, and this is what the color looks like when it's on the wand. And so the reason why I knew this was done was because I had to keep scraping the product out to put on my lips. I used this 4 times this month for a total of 81 uses, and while I do like the color, I am a sucker for a rose brown, like more nude color. I don't think I'll be repurchasing this product specifically because it is a bit lip plumping. It's not like the Western lip plumpers, which are very painful. Rom&nd is a Korean brand, and I find that with Asian makeup products, they do say lip plumping for a lot of their lip glosses, but it's not painful. It just feels weird. Your lips feel weird, but I still don't like lip plumpers. So I wish I'd known that before buying this. It's fine. It's done. I didn't realize that this was expiring so soon, which is why I rolled this and 2 more of the same line into this project pan this year. I originally was not planning to pan these. This expires August 4th, which is I think the day I'm posting this video, so that's a cute coincidence. This is going into my empties bin now. I'm probably going to review it again when I do my empties. And the next, probably most exciting product is my Too Faced Born This Way complexion palette. I keep saying that because I know this is the Born This Way packaging, you know, with all this, it's not Greek, but like European style bordering on it. It's so dusty. Anyways, this is a shade medium. I was working on the center shade, which is called Soft Focus. I had already scraped out the highlighters, which are Glow and Dazzle, because they just didn't work for me. They're really chunky highlighters and I don't like that. So I scraped them out like years ago. I was working on this last year and now it's empty. Look at this. Wow. I used this 19 times this month for a total of 112 uses before finishing it. I did have to scrape the corners out with a spoolie. Let me see if I can find it. I had to use this spoolie to scrape out the bits in the corner to make sure I got everything out, and I just used it as a loose powder afterwards. I didn't think about repressing this, I think because there was so little of it left, and I actually just finished it this morning, and I'm going to miss this because I actually really did enjoy the center shade. And I've said many times before that if they sold it as a single, just the center shade, I would repurchase it, but they don't. This product is long discontinued as well. I got it for 30% off during COVID, but I will miss it. I feel like it's a better version of the Hourglass powders, the finishing powders. Okay, so that was my 2 rollouts, and now I'm going to move on to the products that are remaining, starting with my Laura Mercier translucent pressed setting powder. This has 8.5 grams of product in it, and I was using it after I ran out of my last powder in my last update. I know that my powder usage is higher than the average person because I do have an oily face. I hit pan on this after 8 uses, after 8 tracked uses. I think I've used this powder maybe 10 times before that, but that's crazy, right? I used it 19 times this month for a total of 19 uses. And tell me why it looks like this. What? There was a dip before I rolled it in, but now that dip is obviously a crater. I feel like I go through powder very quickly. The puff that comes in here usually makes my powder look a little bit too dark, so I use a brush instead. But the way I apply powder is I apply enough to make sure that my face is not tacky from the sunscreen. So what I'll do is I'll put on sunscreen at the end of my skincare and then wait a few minutes for it to dry down a bit, and then I'll go in with the powder. But I always touch my face to make sure that there's no like sunscreen spots or like spots I missed. It's not completely like non-sticky, but I just make sure that I get like a majority of my face. So maybe that's why my powder usage is so high, but actually this is only 6.5 grams and I go through like 20 grams in less than a year, maybe 8 months. 8 months. That sounds about right. Like 20 grams every 8 months or so. So that could be why. But also I think my makeup usage increased this month because we have to go back to the office more often. So I've been wearing makeup daily, like even on the weekends. So that's why my usage is so high. But I think this will be gone by the next month, which is a little sad because this is expensive. I think I paid full price for it. Wait, no, I don't think I paid full price for it. I think I got this with a coupon, or at least I hope I did. The coupon and points. I'm not going to repurchase this. It went by way too fast. And it costs about the same as the powder version, which comes with 20 grams, which is better for me. So I would say if you have dry skin, this is probably better for you. And then moving on to my bronzer, I have the Too Faced Hot Cocoa Bronzer in this project pan. My goal is to use it up completely, as it is with all my other products basically. But for this one, I used it 19 times this month for a total of 114 uses. And this is what it looks like now. Ta-da! So the little whipped cream in the center is almost gone. I have been using a spoolie every time it breaks to break up the chunks into smaller pieces, and then I'll scrape some of the darker brown shade to mix with it so that it's actually usable. And I am wearing most of the products on my face today, including this one. I think this is a solid bronzer. Too Faced usually makes pretty decent bronzers. I don't know if I'll miss this when it's gone though. The whole shape and the print of it was not the most easy to use. I think if it was an overspray of the marshmallow and whipped cream in the center, it would be a different story, but because it was actually like layers deep, that's what made it a little bit more hard to use. Not too hard because obviously you can just mix it with a spoolie. I'll be excited when this is gone. It still smells good. It smells like chocolate. Although it's like not as there as it used to be. This bronzer still works for me, even though I am starting to get more tan, and I'm going whitewater rafting this weekend, so I will either be very tan or very red. I don't usually get sunburnt though. I avoided exfoliating this week just to make sure I didn't get sunburnt, although as a child it was very hard to get sunburnt. Moving on to my blushes from my Hourglass Deer palette. This I bought last year after missing my other Hourglass palette I used up. It wasn't the Ghost palette, it was the one after that. I think it was the Ambient Lighting Edit palette. It was amazing. Anyway, so I missed it and I got this one instead. I missed the old packaging though. My goal on this is just to use the blushes as many times as possible because I know it will be impossible to hit pan on these. It took me 4 years to use up my last Hourglass palette because of the blushes. So I'm giving myself a head start. I haven't even touched the other powders yet because I know those won't take that long to use up. But for the blushes, I used them both 19 times this month for a total of 84 uses. And, well, I mean, you can tell it's been used, at least the coral color. So this is Radiant Peach and Vibrant Pink. So I think Radiant Peach looks a little bit less domed than pink. Oh, wow, they are significantly flatter than the other shade. No, actually, I can't really tell. I think I'm just playing tricks on myself. They seem flatter than the other blushes, but I don't think so. Not by much. Other blushes, other powders. I do like this. I use this to warm up the first blush I put on, which is a matte blush, and it's also in this project pan. But yeah, Did not expect to have 3 blushes in my project pan. Normally it's just one of each cheek product, but I think because my matte blush is so flat, I like to add more depth and color. I have another cheek palette in this project pan. This is my Smashbox Cali contour palette. As you can see, it is well loved. I rolled in the blush and the highlighters from this palette in the last month, and this was in my planning to pan. My goal on it was just to hit pan on something. I had planned to roll this in after I hit my goal on at least one of my other cheek products, which was actually my blush. I finished my blush that I had earlier in this project pan. I rolled that in, and then I rolled out my highlighter as well, so I could roll in the highlighters from these. So I used each one 19 times in the last month for a total of 19 uses, but I have worked on this previously, so this is what it looks like. Still no pan. I mean, I just rolled it in. This blush is very light. And I like mixing the 2 highlighters together to put on my cheeks because this one's too light and this one's too dark. I think this is actually meant to be like a shimmery bronzer. I think I'm going to roll in this powder later. I think it's called Highlight. It's kind of like the Too Faced highlight and the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, the finishing powders, where it looks matte, but it does have some shimmers in it. And I put this in my T-zone and then under my eyes. So I don't know if I feel like you can see it when I turn because I'm a little bit more glowy. But that's what I'll use this powder for. So this is me officially saying I'm rolling in the highlight powder. And I'm excited because I actually didn't know what that powder is for the longest time, but after rolling it in last year and realizing that that's what it was for, I think I stopped using this one last year after realizing that it was the same as the Too Faced powder. Like it served the same purpose, but now it's this powder's turn to get used up. If I'm going to be honest, I think the highlight is going to go first. Not the blush, not the shimmery highlight that I was working on already, because I use it in such a big surface area. The next product I have is an eyeshadow. It is from MAC. It is their single in the shade Soba, which has been discontinued, recontinued, discontinued. I don't think this has been available technically for the last 6 years, but I got this right when I started my current job, so around 2022. My goal on it is to hit pan because I've had this for so long. I thought this would be like my, oh, I can just look back on it and, you know, feel nostalgic about it. But in reality, I hated the position I was in at first. Like, I hated it was just not a fun time because my manager was just incompetent. But now I'm on a way better team. I used it 17 times this month for a total of 82 uses. And, well, there is a dip. I feel like the dip has been visible for quite some time now. And I think because of the size of the dip, once I hit pan, it will grow quite big. But I think after I hit pan, I'm just going to retire it. This has been like my everyday work eyeshadow. And I feel like I wear this on the weekends as well when I don't know what to do. But I'm not wearing it today because today is hot and I felt like doing something a little bit more fabulous. Looking forward to using this with better memories. Moving on to lip products. So I have quite a few in this project pan. The next 2 products I'm going to talk about are also from Rom&nd, and they are also the Glasting color glosses. And the first one is Dim Mauve. So for once I'm holding up the correct gloss. My goal on this is to use it up completely, and it's opaque. So I'm going to guess around 80 to 85 uses it will be done. I used this 22 times for a total of, or this month, for a total of 37 uses. And this is actually my work gloss. I have to remember how many times I used it and then go home and then mark it down. I usually remember to use this once, which is after lunch, but I usually forget to reapply after I eat breakfast. So on average, it's between 1 to 3 times of reapplication during my work day, depending on if I eat a snack or not, and if I remember to apply it or not. But this one expires in the day before Halloween, so 10/30 this year. And I still have another one. I think it's doable. I can definitely finish both of the remaining ones I have before their expiration date. And I know it's a very loose expiration date, but I still rather not risk it. And then I have the shade Rose Finch. Yeah, they're very similar in color. This one's more rosy, the other one is more taupey. And I used this one 24 times this month for a total of 24 times because I just rolled it in. And I believe this is the one I have on my lips right now. I feel like these are overhyped, to be honest. It is nice to have a lip gloss option in the Asian formula because I feel like usually when I see lip glosses, they're more of a Western beauty product, or they were a few years ago, and I love lip gloss even though I'm 30. I know I should pivot to wearing lipstick. I'm probably going to... No, I don't think so. I was going to say I'm probably going to stop buying lip gloss this year, but that's not true. I'm going to stop buying lip gloss when I stop traveling to Asia, I think, because I am on a low buy. So technically I could buy makeup right now, but I'd rather wait until I get to travel because I don't restrict myself from international purchases, which I think is a good compromise. I do want to try some lip glosses from China and Taiwan. I may be going later this year, but plans are still up in the air. Everything's like very dependent on another thing. And then my last Rom&nd lip product, but not the last product, is my Rom&nd Juicy Lasting Tint in the shade Bare Tangerine. This is supposed to be Japan exclusive, but you can actually get them from Don Quijote's in Hong Kong. My goal on this is to use it up completely. I did not see an expiration date on this packaging, so I'm wondering if Japan or Hong Kong does not have that requirement. I used it 13 times this month for a total of 19 uses. This is the color that it is. It's like a peachy orangey color. And I like to pair this with my other lip gloss. This is not a lip gloss, this is a lip tint. So I like to pair it with my Fenty Beauty Champ Stamp Fantasy Gloss, which is also in this project pan. I used this 16 times this month for a total of 40 uses, and I think the reason why this has more uses on it is because I rolled it in at an earlier time. You can actually see some progress on the back. I hope you can. I'm sure you can. Like, I can't see it because the mirrorless camera screen is so tiny, but when I'm editing you can definitely see the blue marks on here. I think these two pair beautifully, but this takes a while to dry down, so I usually only put it on once per day. And what I'll do is I will do my makeup and then, or I'll do my base and then I'll put this on, and then when I'm doing my eyeshadow on my eyebrows, then it has time to dry, and then after I spray it with setting spray, then I'll go in with this. Otherwise this is too wet, and then this will take off the bottom layer. Or will it? It just feels too much if I put these on like at the same time together, and I'm afraid that it will get onto the applicator of this. Although I suppose it doesn't really matter because I'm always pairing these two together. But yeah, that was everything for this video. Thank you for watching. There's no more roll-ins. I know I usually like to roll in 2 products at a time to keep things spicy, but if I'm going to be real with myself, I have more than enough products to work on. I'm probably going to have at least 1 empty next month, with my powder being so close to being finished and with my track record of using a powder really quickly. This is actually my last powder, so I have to buy another one during the Ulta Diamond and Platinum Appreciation Day. But yeah, that's everything for this video. Thanks for watching. Thank you for being patient with me while I've been like MIA for 2 weeks because life has just been lifing. And I think I'll explain it in my next video because I forgot to at the beginning of this video. So you'll see it in my low buy update, which is when I tend to give life updates anyways. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're excited for the next update because I am. I'm definitely wearing a lot more makeup, so my progress is going a lot faster. I'll see you next month. Bye!